So here I am doing a free-for-all on Black Ops. Not a big deal. Anyway, I don't mean to brag, but I end this match 30-0, so yeah, pretty good. Whatever, so my friend just signing on there. Totally cool dude. So anyway, I was kind of thinking with this... oh, hold on. 3-arc? Yes, it of course means Treyarch, because, you know, try being 3 and Treyarch, I'm assuming, sort of comes from the same origins of language. I don't know, don't quote me on that, I have no idea. But anyway, this is of course the summary video. I did say I'd be doing these at the start of each Call of Duty, even though I said at the start of the series, and I completely messed up my words. But anyway, I'll get right into it. So, Black Ops, or Blops if you prefer, was the 7th installment in Call of Duty, and it was made by Treyarch because, you know, Infinity Ward made Modern Warfare 2 before this game, and it borrowed lots, like the Pro perk system, and a lot of the perks either just straight up just porting the perk over practically, or giving it a different name, but like having the same or similar effect as a perk from Modern Warfare 2. So like Bling and stuff, except they call Bling Warlord in this game. Don't know what that was all about. But anyway, so also they didn't keep death streaks for whatever reason. I guess those are considered too OP. I don't really know. But they introduced this thing called combat training, which you can see me doing here. Allowed you to play versus X amount of bots on whatever difficulty you really liked. So any of the campaign ones like recruit, veteran, whatever. You could only play on TDM and FFA because that's all the AI allowed for. You could do that core or hardcore though. So yeah, and you could do it like, you know, just on local, so solo, or you could do it split screen. And or you could do it in a private match online. And say and or because this game allowed you to have a guest for each Xbox Live Gold profile that you had. So I could hop on and I'd be playing as Risonic, and then my brother could play split screen with me, and he would be a guest on Xbox Live, and his name would come up as Risonic, open parenthesis, 1, close parenthesis. It's parenthesis, not brackets, just in case you didn't know that. So yeah, that theoretically meant you could have 4 people playing online on the same console, but I think they probably limited it to 2 on the same console at a time, just in general, because they seem to like doing that in all the other ones, apart from when you did local multiplayer. But anyway, the TAC insertion returned, which I, for whatever reason, at the time of writing this little Word document, felt was good enough to note. And you weren't allowed parties in free-for-all. I'm fairly certain that was in Modern Warfare 2 as well, but whatever, because that also meant that you couldn't do split-screen free-for-all. So, yeah. It also introduced this thing called COD points, which was a currency that players used to buy guns that they'd unlocked and attachments for these guns. And you didn't need to unlock the attachments like in Modern Warfare 2, where you had to like get X amount of kills through an object in order to unlock extended mags or whatever, something stupid like that. And yeah, so you'd buy like weapons, perks, new face paints, because face paints were a new feature here, so you could give yourself a funky face tattoo or whatever. Hold on, let me find where I was. And you could even buy like different reticules and different colours for said reticules for like red dot sights and stuff. So if you didn't feel like a red dot was quite your style, you could have a light blue skull if you would prefer. I mean, you know, if you're into that, that's cool. It also introduced wager matches, and you could bet these COD points on you winning. So wager matches were all kind of like free-for-all game modes. So there's stuff like gun game, which originally I think is from Counter-Strike, so you get a kill, then you advance to a next gun, you get a kill with that, and blah blah blah, until the first person to get a kill with the final gun wins. And so it would be a 10 COD point buy-in, and like attachments for weapons cost 1,000, so buy-in wasn't huge. However, if you won, you'd get a 30 point reward. Of course, you could double down, however, where you'd start a vote in the lobby, essentially, and if everyone agreed, buy-ins would be increased to 20, and, you know, your rewards would also be doubled. So, yeah. And if that wasn't hardcore enough for you, and you really wanted to gamble something, you could hop into one of the matches in the High Roller playlist. That's me running into a wall, great job, me. Where you could actually bet 10,000 standard instead, and you could of course still double down in that, so you could end up betting 20,000 COD points and earning 60,000 out of it, which is kind of crazy, man. But anyway, a completely different note, they actually abolished quickscoping in this game by making it so that for about 3/4 of a second, or probably half a second, after zooming in with a sniper rifle, for about 3/4 of a second, yeah. After zooming in with a sniper rifle, your shot, instead of going where the scope was aimed, would go way off to the right. And I remember playing a wager match on WND, one of the matches in this game, and it was a gun game. I managed to quickscope a guy by looking at the floor and scoping in, and I ended up killing him by shooting him in the chest instead of the foot, right about where I was aiming. So yeah, showed that the system didn't really work very well. It was kind of a bit of a silly idea, in my opinion, but you know, whatever. The flamethrower from COD 5 actually kind of returned in this game, except instead of as, you know, like an equipment item, it was an attachment, for an underbarrel attachment for assault rifles. So yeah, that was totally cool. But anyway, I think I pretty much covered everything apart from what I'm going to go. I really should have remembered that one, and I'll cover it in the Team Deathmatch that I'll upload tomorrow if I actually manage to upload this today. It is 6:05, and I don't know, Saturdays I just can't be asked to do any recording, don't know what it is. But yeah, I just tried to record some zombies, because of course that returned in this game after being hugely successful. And it's just the characters that were introduced in Shino Numa, yeah, and then carried on into Darice, which is my favourite map, personally. This is me just showcasing the revive, because if you bought quick revive when playing solo, instead of, you know, speeding up your revive, which would be kind of pointless, it revives you, and it's 500 points, but I think you can only buy it 3 times or something in a game. Yeah, here I got a really bad spawning for the box, and it ended up here, so I had to turn on the power first before I could get it, which kind of sucked. I think I swapped a 74U for FAMAS there when I had an M14 as my other weapon, so that was rather... Oh no, it was an M16, wasn't it? Yeah, whatever, I died here because kind of a noob. So, anyway, what else does this game do? A lot of stuff, huh? I didn't like this game much, actually. Coming back to this, I noticed that my kill for death ratio was 0.8, when in Ghost currently it's like 1.41, I think. So I really did not like this game, and when I finished recording matches, which was a goddamn blessing, then it was 0.83. So I guess I'll talk about zombies, because since the zombies gameplay that I showed, it changed a whole lot, just in the map packs for COD 5, which introduced new zombie maps like Verrucht. Zombies Verrucht, I think, introduced Hellhounds, which is what you'll see me blowing up here, which are normally flaming dogs, although sometimes, I don't know, they're just kind of like smouldering dogs, like that first one that I shot there. Yeah, I'm doing some totally pro cutting. They're all fleshy too, it's kind of gross, and they explode if you shoot them in the face. Yeah. I did a lot of speeding up in this video just because some of it was kind of boring to sit through, and oh god, editing is like soul destroying half the time. Yeah, zombies seem to like that window a lot, don't know what that's all about. But anyway, so they added Hellhounds, and so that was a new thing, and of course they added a whole lot of new guns off the wall, and I noticed that the outlines for guns on the wall became a lot neater and more accurate, because if you look at the Nocturne Totem video I did, then stuff was like really rough, but I guess they like coded it so that it would take it from the textures of the gun rather than someone like manually drawing an outline. But I mean, if they hopped into Paint, they could probably do it more accurately than that by manipulating the individual pixels, yes. So you notice here, I swap a Spectre for an M16, then go, oh, Spectre, and swap it right back, because I'm a genius like that. And rocket launchers just are really impractical on this game, especially if you're playing solo. Yeah, that's one of the new secondaries, because I showed the crossbow, and I showed this, and this is terrible in zombies, but it was the start of the round, so I figured I'd showcase it. And shotguns are totally bomb in zombies, I'm not even gonna lie. So wow, I'm nearing the end of the video-ish. I was worried I would run out of things to say, so yeah, that was a new thing, and coming up in the video I will show the Pack-a-Punch machine, which first came up in Shino Numa. No, it did not. First came up in Darice, and I think there was, I remember hearing about a new zombies map planned for COD 5 with like alien zombies and stuff, and from what I can tell, it was actually this map that was going to be released in COD 5, but they obviously just put it off until the next game. And then because this is like based in the 60s and the Vietnam War and stuff, they just went, oh, the teleporters from Darice, capable of time travel, to make the lore make sense. So yeah, the Python here is basically the 357 Magnum, especially in zombies because it's a one-hit kill, and I reach around where shotguns aren't a one-hit kill anymore, and I get all kinds of scared and freaked out. That was a bit of a silly choice, honestly. No, the Hellhound's round, awesome. So yeah, Pack-a-Punch, which you could spend 5,000 points to upgrade your gun, and it would give it a new name, and most of the time, in this, not so much in the previous one, it would give you attachments for your gun. So, like, I think upgrading the Galil would and the Commando, I think, would give you, like, a red dot sight with a little reticule that the developers thought, ooh, this looks nice. Of course, teleporters made a return, but there was only 2 of them on this map. I can't remember for the other ones. I think there's more on the other maps, like 5, which is like based in the Presidential Office of America, or whatever the hell it's called. The Pentagon, that's the one. That's nothing to do... Okay, that's certainly not the Presidential Office, but sure. Yeah, go down, because I'm a bit of a tard. The revive function is actually really useful. So yeah, they did a lot in zombies. Oh yeah, they changed it so that boxes wouldn't just stay in the same place and you could use them inexhaustively, but after so long they would actually disappear and go to a different preset location on the map, and you would have a little light beacon. Yes, you'd have a little light beacon, which I did a little caption pointing to earlier in the video, which would indicate where the box was. So yeah, it would pick a random spawning at the start of the match, and then it would move to a random place afterwards, and you could get really lucky spawnings where it's like right in the next room, or you could get really terrible ones where you have to like turn on the power, like I had to do in the first thing of zombies that I did on this. Yeah, I'm just looking at stuff here. Yeah, this was a bit weird. It would teleport you up here, and then after so long it would teleport you back, but sometimes it like puts you in a weird room that wasn't even, well, it was evidently on this map, but you couldn't like go to it. So it was obviously like a bit like they do skyboxes, where they're just a little portion way off to the side or floating way off up in the air. But yeah, I didn't like this game much. It seemed like it promoted a more defensive style of play, but then it also kind of tried to solve issues that it had already nullified with its more defensive style of play, which basically ended up in it being kind of camper-friendly, in my opinion. But yeah, even with the upgraded ARs weren't really that good. I would have preferred an upgraded shotgun, but I already traded it off because it had no ammo or something. Oh, but we're closing to the end of the video, slowly, kind of. But yeah, you saw me, it was at 3 times speed, but it was Dead Ops Arcade. And yeah, that was sort of a new thing. You could access it by typing DOA in the computer, where you escape from the chair in the main menu, or by typing in 3-arc unlock, which unlocks literally everything. And yeah, so I'm just showcasing the arcadey things. After you die for the last time, because you get multiple lives, then this happens, and I think it can change whether or not you killed the weird monkey thing that showed up when I was playing. Also, for some reason, now that I've changed where my Harpage saves files to, so I don't have to manually input it each time, I get 2 clips of the same thing. However, one of them has in-sync audio, and you can probably guess from the fact that I've muted all the game audio on this stuff that doesn't normally happen, so that means that I will be able to edit Let's Play series much better and anything with LiveCom, which is wonderful. Anyway, end of the video. We've done it. Goodbye. I love you.